Questions about Donald and Melania Trump's marriage have surfaced whenever the First Lady appeared distant, skipped an event, or chose to keep a lower public profile. But now, in 2026, those questions have suddenly become much louder. A fresh claim from political author Michael Wolff has put the Trump marriage back under the microscope. And this time, the claim is unusually blunt. Wolff reportedly said on the August 25th episode of the Inside Trump's Head podcast that Melania hates his guts, while also claiming that the President and First Lady rarely communicate and spend little time together. Those are extraordinary allegations. But they remain allegations from Wolff, not a statement from Melania Trump herself. And then came another moment that made the internet start asking even more questions. On August 23rd, Donald and Melania Trump appeared together at the Freedom 250 IndyCar Grand Prix in Washington, D.C. Cameras captured the couple having what appeared to be an intense conversation. Within hours, the footage was being dissected online, with lip readers attempting to determine what the two were saying. One professional lip reader, Jeremy Freeman, offered an interpretation in which Melania allegedly said, "That's the problem. People react." Donald allegedly responded, "We'll knock it off." The interpretation then became even more dramatic. According to Freeman, Melania appeared to say, "It happened 2 times," before Donald allegedly responded, "I know." Freeman then interpreted Melania as saying, "I can't take any more." But there is an important problem. Nobody watching a silent video can independently verify a lip reader's interpretation. In fact, another professional lip reader reportedly gave a substantially different interpretation of the same conversation. So what viewers saw was real. Donald and Melania were speaking and the exchange appeared serious. What they were actually saying remains uncertain. And that distinction matters. Still, the timing could hardly be more interesting. Melania had just returned to the public spotlight after a period of unusually limited appearances. On August 20th, she appeared in the White House Rose Garden for an event connected to her Fostering the Future initiative. After being away from public events for more than a month, she reportedly joked with the audience, "I heard you missed me. Here I am." Just 3 days later, she was standing beside Donald Trump at the IndyCar event, and suddenly the cameras were focused on their interaction. That has created a perfect storm for speculation. There is also another claim circulating from former White House Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Matthews. During a podcast appearance, Matthews claimed that Melania had been paid to attend campaign events during Donald Trump's political campaigns. That is a claim made by Matthews and should not be treated as established fact. But because Melania has historically made fewer campaign appearances than some political spouses, the allegation has attracted considerable attention. And this is where the current story connects with controversies that have followed the Trump marriage for years. During the 2016 presidential campaign, Melania herself became a subject of intense scrutiny. Her previous modeling career came under the spotlight, while Donald Trump's campaign was hit by one controversy after another. One of the biggest moments came with the release of the infamous Access Hollywood recording, in which Trump made vulgar comments about women. The recording became a major political crisis during the campaign. Melania later described the comments as inappropriate and unacceptable, while also saying that her husband's words did not represent the man she knew. But the controversy became part of the larger public discussion surrounding their marriage. Then came an even more personal scandal. In 2018, allegations involving adult film actress Stormy Daniels became a major political story. Daniels alleged that she had a sexual encounter with Donald Trump in 2006. Trump denied the encounter. The controversy became particularly significant because of a payment made to Daniels shortly before the 2016 presidential election. The issue eventually developed into a major legal and political controversy, but Melania largely stayed out of the public conversation surrounding the allegations. She was already First Lady by then, and the story put her in an uncomfortable position. Her husband was facing intensely personal allegations while she was expected to maintain a public role beside him. Then another allegation emerged. Former Playboy model Karen McDougal alleged that she had an affair with Donald Trump in 2006. Trump denied having a sexual relationship with McDougal. The allegations became public in 2018 and generated another wave of attention around Trump's marriage. Again, Melania did not publicly engage in extensive discussion of the allegations. Instead, she generally maintained her distance from the controversy. That pattern is important because it helps explain why every new public moment involving Donald and Melania now attracts such intense scrutiny. When a couple rarely discusses their private life publicly, viewers tend to interpret what they can see. A facial expression becomes a headline. A missed event becomes a theory. A brief conversation becomes a viral video. And now, a political author's claim has become another piece of that puzzle. But there is something else that has fueled the latest speculation: Melania's limited public presence during Trump's second administration. Reports and commentators have repeatedly focused on her schedule, her appearances, and the amount of time she spends publicly beside her husband. Some reporting has also discussed separate living arrangements and suggested that the couple does not always maintain the kind of traditional presidential schedule that Americans might expect from a first couple. But again, those reports and interpretations should be handled carefully. A limited public schedule does not automatically prove a troubled marriage. A separate residence does not automatically prove a separation. And an awkward conversation on camera does not prove that a couple is fighting. Those are conclusions that viewers may draw, but they are not facts established by the available evidence. Then there is another controversy that Melania herself addressed directly. In April 2026, she publicly responded to rumors connecting her to Jeffrey Epstein. This was not a rumor she ignored. In a rare statement at the White House, Melania strongly denied having a relationship with Epstein or his associate Ghislaine Maxwell. She said Donald Trump and Epstein had sometimes been present at the same social events because they moved in overlapping social circles in New York and Palm Beach. Melania also said that she first crossed paths with Epstein in 2000 at an event she attended with Donald. She rejected claims that Epstein introduced her to Donald Trump and said that she had never been involved in Epstein's crimes. Reuters reported that Melania described the claims linking her to Epstein as defamatory, while the White House published her full statement. That episode is significant because it shows the difference between speculation and a direct public denial. In the latest marriage controversy, Michael Wolff is making a claim about Melania's feelings. A lip reader is offering an interpretation of a silent video. A former White House official is making claims about her appearances. But Melania herself has not publicly confirmed Wolff's characterization of her feelings toward Donald Trump. And neither has Donald Trump publicly confirmed it. That leaves the central question unanswered. What is actually happening inside the Trump marriage? The honest answer is that the public does not know. What we do know is that Melania Trump has maintained a comparatively controlled public presence, and that every unusual appearance now receives enormous attention. We know that the Trump marriage has survived years of political pressure, public controversies, personal allegations, and intense media scrutiny. We know that Melania has repeatedly chosen not to discuss many of those controversies in detail. And we now know that a prominent political author has made an extraordinary claim about her feelings toward her husband. But we do not know whether that claim accurately reflects what Melania privately thinks. The viral IndyCar footage doesn't provide that answer either. The lip-reading interpretations are conflicting, and without audio or confirmation from the people involved, they remain interpretations. That may not stop the speculation. In fact, it is probably going to make it worse. Because the more private Melania remains, the more intensely people analyze the moments when she does appear. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. One statement from Michael Wolff. One tense-looking public exchange. One controversial lip-reading interpretation. Claims from a former White House official. And a history of scandals that has kept the Trump marriage in the public spotlight for years. Put all of those together, and you have a story that is generating enormous curiosity. But there is a line between asking questions and declaring something to be true. For now, the claim that Melania Trump hates Donald Trump remains Michael Wolff's characterization, not a confirmed statement from Melania. And until either of them directly addresses the latest allegations, the real story may be less about what happened behind closed doors and more about why the public remains so fascinated by what happens between these two people whenever the cameras are turned on. So, as the speculation continues, one thing is certain: the Trump marriage is once again under the microscope. And this time, the questions are louder than ever.